So, you just started CrossFit, and now you're asking yourself, how do I strategize and approach a workout in a really good way? So, that is a great question, but before we jump right into that question, I want to say one thing real fast. Thank you to you guys for watching this series, So You Just Started CrossFit. For you guys watching it, I really appreciate it, and hopefully it helps you guys out as you guys go through your CrossFit career per se. So I will have one ask, and that is, if you guys have something you want me to talk about, feel free to put them down in the comments below. This YouTube channel is meant to be a community. It's meant to be a group of people that are answering questions and answering each other's questions. So if you guys have things you want me to talk about, put them down below. I will always respond because I have no life. I don't know. Anyways, I'll always respond to you guys. So if you guys want me to answer any of your questions, I'll grab a gimbal that I know how to use. That's to you, Jake Flowen, and a camera, and I'll walk through my vineyard and answer your guys' questions. So without further ado, let's get back into the actual question. So the first thing I'm gonna have to say when answering the question, how do you strategize a workout, is the idea that it takes practice, okay? It takes practice to know how to approach certain workouts. Now notice when I say it takes practice, I'm choosing my words very carefully. I'm not saying it takes time. Now, it does take some time. Obviously, practice takes time, right? So, it does take some time, but it's not so much time. It's not like the amount of time that I've put in. You can do it, you just have to be very cognizant and approach it in a really intelligent way. So, in order to strategize a workout, I would caveat, the word I love, it's always in every single one of my videos. I would caveat and say this, that the first thing you need to do is to learn how long it takes you to do certain things, and when you get done doing certain things, how do you feel? And you can do that early on in your CrossFit career. You can approach it and say, okay, I'm gonna do this workout and I'm gonna take kind of mental notes of how long it takes me to do certain things. How long does it take you to row 20 calories? How many wall balls can you do in a minute? How many double unders can you do in a minute and you don't feel burned out? You know, those kind of things. How many burpees over a bar can you do as fast as you can? And then how many burpees over a bar can you do at a slower rate that allows you to keep your heart rate in check? And these are certain milestones or certain markers. Whoa, I said that, but now I'm having trouble with the gimbal. Those are certain milestones or certain markers that I think you need to take into consideration that'll help you strategize a workout. Because let's say the open comes out, right? And the open comes out and, you know, God forbid it comes out, but it's 7 minutes of burpees to a 6-inch touch, right? So if that workout comes out, if you have the knowledge to know how many burpees you can do in a minute really fast and how many burpees you can do in a minute at a slower pace but allows you to keep your heart rate in check, you can use those pieces of information to kind of put them together and think, okay, well, if I know I can do 30 burpees really, really fast in a minute, but I'm completely dead, then if I have 7 minutes, then I probably shouldn't do that. Maybe I should approach it with an 80%, approach it with an 80% heart rate. And so 80% for you might be, I'll do 22 burpees. That's not 80%, don't quote my math, but you get my idea, right? And what I'm trying to give you guys an idea of how to do it is you take your training and you use your training and you take pieces of information from it. You take data points essentially, and you use those data points to help you strategize workouts. I mean, if you gave me a workout, I can pretty much nail it on the head with how long it's gonna take me, how long each round will take, how long each movement will take, and I can give you a really good estimation of how long it'll take me to do the whole workout and what's a good time for it. Now, you might think, oh, that comes with time, like that comes with the amount of years he's done CrossFit, and that's not necessarily true. Instead, it's the idea of taking data points like we're talking about and knowing your body and knowing what you're capable of and knowing when to push, when to surge, and when to pace. So that, of course, is my first recommendation, is taking data points, taking the idea and testing things, really rowing hard for a minute and seeing how hard you can get, what your heart rate looks like, and then asking yourself, okay, what can I row in a minute where I feel pretty decent? And so you need to test and take data points in order to determine those kind of things and how to strategize a workout. The second thing in order to help you strategize a workout is the idea of just doing it. Like just approaching it and doing it a certain way. So we've all been given a workout, right? We've all been given a workout, like, again, let's take the example of 7 minutes of burpees. We've all been given a workout, let's say it's 7 minutes of burpees, and then we kind of look at it and we think, okay, well, this is how I'm gonna approach the workout. And then as soon as 3, 2, 1 goes, you get caught up in the group kind of think, and you go really, really hard trying to get out in front and win. And so what I would recommend is don't do that. Instead, look at a workout, 7 minutes of burpees, okay? Write down a strategy of how you want to approach it. Okay, the first minute, I'm gonna do 20 burpees, okay? And in the second minute, I'm gonna pick it up a little bit and do 21 burpees. You know, whatever the case may be. Obviously, that's not a good example. Don't take my words for like the gold standard here, but this is just an idea. And so what I'm trying to give you an idea of doing is write a strategy out and then actually do it. And then see what it's like and then take notes from that. And then if you retest that workout later on down the road, you can say, okay, I know I did it like this, so let's change it up. And so what I'm trying to say is, in order to get better at strategizing workouts, you actually need to stick to the strategy. I know, that sounds really crazy, huh? It's super weird. But like I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation, right back there in the vineyard, is the idea that as soon as 3, 2, 1 goes, a lot of people kind of freak out and start going as hard as they can, and they lose all concept of strategy, and they just go. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys away from, is the idea of, if you want to learn how to strategize workouts, then you need to learn how to write down your ideas on a whiteboard. And then if you write your ideas down on the whiteboard, then actually do it in the workout. And so that's my second concept, or second idea of how to strategize a workout. Number 1 was take data points. Number 2 is the idea of write a strategy down, attempt it, actually do it, and then take some notes on it. And then if you do it, retest it down the road and see if you can change things up change things up and decide what was good and what was bad. Along with kind of doing your strategy is an after action report. So when you're done, ask yourself, was that smart? Could I have done it better or faster if I'd done this or if I'd have done that? And that's also a good thing to ask yourself, is when you get done, sit down and ask yourself those questions when you're laying on the floor, writhing in a heap of mess of sweat, blood, and snot. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. And hopefully, guys, that helps you out in determining how to strategize a workout. And this is gonna be really important because pretty soon the open's gonna be here before you know it. And that's gonna be like the number 1 thing we're doing is open workouts. And so you need to approach open workouts and strategize these workouts in such a way that sets you up for success. And so it's important, like I mentioned, to know data points so that if 19.1 comes out again and we do wall balls and rowing, okay, I can row at this calorie per hour and I feel comfortable. Or I can do this many wall balls per hour and I feel comfortable. And then if you know your data points, then you also know, okay, if I'm gonna attempt one of these open workouts, 20.1, I'm gonna write down a strategy and I'm actually gonna do it. And then after I'm done with it, I'll retest it, ask myself, was it a good idea or was it a bad idea? And so those are my 2 pieces of advice for how to strategize a workout. I use them all the time, and hopefully it helps you out the same it helps me out. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Talk to you guys later. See ya.